Previously on Pixelmon. We finished building our nether portal and made our first trip into the nether. We managed to find a nether fortress while we were there. And I managed to add some new members to our team. With that out of the way, if you enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This is Pixelmon episode 6, I hope you enjoy. After a discussion with some members of my chat, we determined that I already had another member of the meme team we were building, being Charmeleon. I go to Charmeleon's stat page, and after some difficulty trying to type his name, I managed to get him renamed to Boy George. A short while later, I was off exploring when I came across a desert temple. I went to explore it and found it had been blown up already. I have a feeling that this was the temple Dinky discovered and came across its explosive secrets. After some more exploring, I found a wild Mareep chilling in a field. After trying to catch it by launching Pokeballs at it and failing miserably, I figured a battle was the best option. A few attacks and Pokeballs later, I managed to capture Mareep. That was another one ticked off the list. A long time of exploring later, I had a random Entei spawn as I was flying around. Luckily, I managed to find it amongst this monstrosity of a biome and began launching Ultra Balls at it. A lot of unsuccessful attempts later, it despawned without a warning, leaving me to gather the Ultra Balls I missed and move on. While Dinky was out exploring, she managed to come across a couple of Pokemon spawners. Both Dinky and I put a vote to our chats, and it was decided we can use the spawners for the sole purpose of XP grinding and farming items. We were not allowed to catch the Pokemon as it defied the point in finding them in the wild and would effectively kill the grind. Considering the fact that there was two, I went to set one up for Dinky, and after some discussions I loaded her spawner with grass type Pokemon for her to grind on. As for the spawner I was setting for myself, I placed Glalie and Weavile into mine as I was going to try and level up Skarmory. As Skarmory is also part Steel type and at the time had access to Steel Wing, I felt like putting the Ice types in and Evolved forms would be the best way for me to try and gain some levels really quick. After a bit of grinding, Dinky wanted new Pokemon in her spawner, so I went and changed out most of the Pokemon, leaving only Sceptile from the original group and adding in Skarmory for variety. A bit of grinding later, I changed my spawns to only have Mashana in them, as they have Ender Pearls as a possible drop. I spent some time grinding on these Mashanas to try and make sure I had enough Ender Pearls to turn them into Eyes of Ender later on when I got Blaze Powder. After gathering enough Ender Pearls, I again changed the spawner, this time to Charizards as it was a win-win situation. I could gather Blaze Powder, which I could put with the Ender Pearls to create Eyes of Ender, as well as using Surskit to gain XP and try and get it evolved. After some battles against some very underleveled Charizards, I had enough Blaze Powder and managed to get enough XP to evolve Surskit to Masquerain, marking another one off the list. Once the evolution process was complete, I went back to my home area and crafted myself enough Eyes of Ender that should both allow me to find the fortress and complete the portal once I managed to get there. Straight away, I set off to find the fortress as I was curious to know if the Ender Dragon still existed in Pixelmon, considering the only hostile mob I had encountered so far was a Shulker that killed me. Fortunately for us, the closest fortress location was only around 1,000 blocks from the main village where we'd started. After a bit of confusion trying to find where the eyes were going, I set a waypoint marker in my journey map so I didn't forget the location of the fortress for later visits. Just as Dinky arrived to the fortress location and I was placing my waypoint, Latias spawned above the ocean next to us. I went to go and check it out, thinking I could catch it, before remembering I'd put all of my Ultra Balls away before coming to the stronghold. After a quick look, it was back to preparing for a dig down into the fortress. I began work on digging down to the fortress and after a few blocks realised I'd forgotten torches. Dinky went to go and gather some, whilst I continued trying to mine in the dark, pushing closer to the fortress. Eventually, I managed to stumble across it within my digging area and began trying to dig my way down to the main room whilst creating the staircase for us to escape from later. After doing some exploring, I managed to find the portal room and a few chests along the way, gathering the loot and supplies as I went. Before properly fixing the portal, I broke the chest that was close by and placed it in the portal room, storing all of the stuff I had gathered to ensure I didn't lose it when I went to the end for a look around. I did advise Dinky to look at doing the same, however, she didn't have too many items on her that she cared for, so she didn't worry about getting a chest to store her stuff in. After storing my items in the chest, I went ahead and lit the portal up before remembering that pickaxes and cobblestone might come in handy for me to be able to dig and build with while I was there. I did explain to Dinky that once we went in, the only way out was to find a portal or to die, which she was pretty cool with either way. So we decided it was a good idea to jump into the portal, have a bit of a look around, and the minute we spawned in, I noticed the big red health bar along the top, which meant that the Ender Dragon was in fact alive and well within the Pixelmon world. Naturally, we chose death to return us to the normal world as we're not prepared yet to be facing the Ender Dragon. Upon coming back to the regular world, I changed my spawner again, this time to spawn Tyrannotars. The purpose for this was because they have a chance to drop diamonds upon defeat, which means I could gather enough to make myself diamond items and prepare for the upcoming boss fight. After defeating enough Tyrannotars to get a good stack of diamonds, I returned to my base to start crafting some armour and weapons. I crafted the 4 armour pieces before realising I didn't grab any sticks for the sword or pickaxe, so I quickly ran back to my chests, grabbed some sticks, and returned to the crafting table to make the last 2 items. I figured for now I'll place them aside in a chest until I have enough supplies to start enchanting them, and will probably only bring them out when I'm ready for the boss fight to make sure I don't lose them beforehand. So a quick episode review. We didn't catch a lot of Pokemon but achieved a lot in exploring. We added 1 new member and evolved one, bringing 2 to the total to make it 28 out of 880. We've still got a heap to go, but we are making progress. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. The link to the Pixelmon playlist will be at the bottom of your screen, and I hope to see you in the next one.